Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. And guys, it has been so long since I posted a video on here. First and foremost, let's just talk about this. I decided to end this channel a while back to pursue with Team Curry Bandit. For those y'all who do not know or happen to care, I am actually no longer associated with Team Curry Bandit as a YouTube channel in general. I will be bringing content here to GunnerRTCG now. There's no drama with us. We're still really great friends. We will still continue to be really great friends going forward. Just my ideas and the other co-owners' ideas wasn't like connecting, and you know, so that just kind of made it to where we decided to go on separate paths. I gave him rights to the channel because he did grow more with that player base than I did for it per se, because I was at a demotivated time and not wanting to film. But guys, I am like so passionate, ready to film, and kind of hope to bring you some great content for GunnerRTCG. Which if it doesn't show GunnerRTCG on the stuff, just give me like a little bit. I'm gonna be working with it. But anyways, enough rambling. I decided to quit Yu-Gi-Oh! For the most competitive part and go to Pokemon as a competitive game, and it is really fun. It's a really good solid game, and with the release of the new Battle League structure decks that features our homie Mew right here, I decided to go ahead and give y'all my list of how you can play it upgraded. So we'll just go into the card choices and we'll talk a little bit as we go, just kind of like catch back up. So first and foremost, you have to play a 4-line. Do not play a 3-line, do not play a 2-line, play a 4-line. It is very crucial. In this deck, you're wanting to build up 2 of these to get into your Vmax. Also your Vmax does copy from the bench, so that is crucial, and you sometimes do gotta pop one of these down to copy the Psychic Leap, just to do like 70, maybe to 100 off the with the power tab, which I'll show y'all just in a second. It's very key that you play 4 of these though. And then the draw engine that, you know, kind of sucks when you get path is for Genesect. So what he does is Fusion Strike system. He draws until you have equal amount of cards equal to Fusion Strike Pokemon that you have in play. So if you have up to a total of 6 with no cards in hand, he's just basically a free hand replenishment. And then we play 3 of the boss monster in the deck. So Cross Fusion Strike essentially says copy anything on the bench. You can copy this attack for 210, and with modifiers you can get over any 220 in the game, which is very key because you can get really early turn knockouts on Vs that are like looking to load up. Also, he can copy another one that we get to reintroduce back into the format if you're kind of new, if you kind of like come up to this because you want an idea for your deck and you are a veteran. 2 in the Meloetta. Meloetta basically states that it does 70 more for each Fusion Strike energy that is in play. So 3 of these is a 210 bomb on the first turn, and you can just load her up, and if you get off form plates 280, which is, you know, last time I heard it was pretty good. And then we're playing 1 of the Oricorio. I've been like going back and forth with about either keeping this in or cutting this for something like the Deoxys, but I noticed that with this up-and-coming format that the only thing that Pokemon are doing to turn 3 is trying to get to a 220 threshold, and this is a modifier which says all your Fusion Strike Pokemon take 20 less damage, so it really does make it hard for any deck in the game to be able to get over with anything just really early on. So we're going to still keep this in, and you can't copy up the Lizzlin Droplets, which places 5 damage counters, which for those y'all don't know, a damage counter equals, so 1 damage counter equals 10 knocks. So if you're just trying to get over like one little thing, or if you're just like trying to like weaken something up for like a strong power play going later on, that's like really strong. But this is the lineup. We're not changing nothing about this lineup. You should definitely be playing this lineup as this. This is completely correct. Sorry for the mixed max rarity. I am working on trying to get some higher rarity. But yeah, this is really solid. Now, I do want to keep in mind, if you're a new player coming and looking at this, or you have a question, the Cross Fusion Strike move. So if, for example, if you play this and you copy the attack to the Genesect does state on it that what Techno Blast see if I can get up there. You can see it. This Pokemon cannot attack the turn after you attack. So essentially what that means is you are still locked under restrictions when you do copy that. So do also keep that in mind if you are building just to try to dunk on, you know, fun decks with that. Then this is the other honorary monster lineup in the game. That's not really a monster lineup. It's just for Battle VIP Pass. Okay, so it basically states if you go first, you pop this up and then you put 2 basics on the bench. In this game so far, out of all the hours of test playing that I've played in this game, I'm not really like advocating for like banning cards in this game, but if they ever ban a card, it should be this. This card is like so ridiculous on the fact that it just gets anything onto the bench. So if you open up like, for example, if you open up like Mew or like Mew Meloetta or like Mew Genesect, you get 2 other Genesects and you're drawing your deck like in turn on your first turn, and it's just like really nice. Then going on to some more like really good items. If you are new to the Pokemon TCG, I do want to state this: you can play as many items in the game as possible, as you basically your heart contents or you're allowed to play on that turn. Supporters, you're gonna play 1 per turn. So do keep it in mind. If y'all do want like some in-depth or like y'all want some like a video that kind of teaches you how to play the Pokemon TCG, just let us know down in the comment section below, and I will like make some videos on that. For consistency cards, we're playing 4 to Chromatic. If you hit, it's really nice if you search anything, but in reality, it's a 50-50 thing. It basically just thins your hand down so that your Genesect, so it makes your Genesect even, you know, more live. So if you get 1, but you're not, if you can get the 4 to 6 off, which that's like a pretty realistic on a Genesect, and it just doesn't get you the piece that you're needing. You could just use this to thin down to get more. I have seen people cutting this to 3. I'm not going to say it's incorrect, but I'm not going to say it's correct either. There is still kind of a little bit more solving in the format with this deck, with Lugia being as prevalent, as strong as it is, and with the new Lost Box package that's out. But still, it does feel good. Like if you basically if you go first and this hits and you have like the right hand, you win in the game. So it's so crazy how good this card is. Just for more consistency, we're playing 4 Quick Ball. 4, we probably use it 1 time. Okay, so Quick Ball is just going to search like maybe just that missing piece of the Genesect or a Choreo if you're kind of afraid that you're going to get knocked out next turn, or just your Meloetta to get set up. It also is a hand finner. This basically will serve the purpose of being a hand finner. So a good key note, so I'm going to try to tell you good interactions with Pokemon TCG is that you could fail to find in this game. So if you're just needing to get your hand down just to like draw off your Genesect, just try to get like some of your missing damage modifiers, you can pitch just 2 cards that you don't really need, and then shuffle your deck and get you into a to get to the missing piece of the combo. And another card that I don't see a lot of people playing, which I have cut, which I think is incorrect. I do consider in any form of fashion playing 1 to 2 of this, because it does like get you sort of there a little bit better. Is one called up being a Rodent Foam. So what Rodent Foam does is it looks at the top 5 cards of your deck, shuffle. You choose 1 shuffle, and then place it at the top of the deck, so you can guarantee your draw for turn, or you can just guarantee getting that last piece of the combo for Genesect. And the card that's making this deck so good this format. 4 Stone. So what this card does is, let's talk about this. So if you haven't played the game in a while, V-Star moves are pretty much like once per turn, once per duel, or once per match moves that are very powerful. So what this does is it says attached to a V, and it gives the V the ability to search for any card in the deck. Any card in the deck. Also on top of that, for those who don't know what I do play the game, this can still trigger under Path of the Peak, because it is a item card given an ability. It is not an ability of a Pokemon. So if you're needing to get like that 1 last piece for the damage modifier, you're needing to get the Elsa Sparkle, which I'll show you in a minute. Anything that you need to finish the piece of the puzzle to like get your Mew set up, it is there. This is what's brought Mew back to the forefront. And then speaking of damage modifiers, we're gonna play 4 Power Tablet. Essentially, it says that gives your Fusion Strike Pokemon a 30 boost per turn. So play 2 of these or 3 of these, and it's just, you should be able to get over any V star in the game at that point. Vmaxes, you kind of they're like at the 310, 320 threshold, so you might not be able to like OHKO them really quickly, but you can get over like pretty much anything else. And 2 of the choice belt. It's that tool card that essentially says, you know, add 30 onto whatever you're hitting on. I mean, to the V, so you get a 30 boost when you're attacking into the. Yeah, excuse me, it's been a minute since I've recorded. So support lineup. We're playing 2 bosses orders. Essentially, one of the best cards in the game. Says snap anything from the bench to kill it. We're playing 1 of the Silene. Have a love-hate relationship with this card. Anybody who plays this deck probably feels the same way. You roll a dice, and you roll 2 dice, and for whatever hits heads. So if you hit like 2 heads, you just put 2 cards at the top of your deck to recycle them back in. So it's a really great way to like recycle back in like your power tablets, because you do kind of tend to burn them down when you're trying to get to like missing combo pieces at times. For hand destruction, I'm playing the 1 Marnie. Sometimes you do get into like these situations where like maybe you can't like kill something, but their hand advantage is good, so it just punishes them. Also still punishes Palkia players for sure. So try to get to where your board state is and go ahead and pop them with a Marnie, and then make their life a little bit more inconsistent to try to get there with. And then I play the 1 Roxanne. So a lot of people are going to be asking, why would you still play this with Drapion in the format? So this is where you like literally can punish a very bad player. Let them take the 3 prizes, have 2 others set up in the back. So you're setting up your Meloetta to set up your Mew. So ideally you want to try to set up 2 Mew before you set up your Meloetta, in my personal opinion, if you know you're going against Drapion. Let them take the 3, get yourself comfortable. You're not going to Drapion out, but before you do, hit them with a Roxanne. They get 2, you get 6. So after you take your 2, it's going to be hard for them to recover. Okay, you do give them free, but at that point, you're already with 3 attackers, and you should be probably comfortably winning the game at that point with that line of play. Yes, Drapion is a strong card. Yes, it can wreck your board, but because of the 4 Steel Stone, because of the way you can draw going first, all you need to do is just get your Mew, your Vmax ready for load up, and then this is just a very good card to come back into the format. I mean, to come back in to win you a game. And then the brand new card that just come out of Silver Tempest is Serena. So Serena has pretty much two effects. You can either just discard your hand down, and then you can discard your hand down, or you can Gus up a Pokemon. So you essentially now have three different ways to Gus. This can also just kind of like fix wonky hands if you know you're trying to get on the Genesect. It comes up sometimes. For the most part, I've never in this list so far, I've never seen like that where I needed this effect to be able to resolve to get to the Genesect, because you just have so much discard in the deck. Just having the other Gus is like really nice just for turn. You could argue playing like 2 and maybe like 1 boss's orders, but as we get more to kind of seeing Lugia in the local level, that's the thing. We don't see a lot of Lugia in the local level. That will probably be what determines this, but I still kind of think this supporter lineup is correct, just for like Gus stuff, or like recovery stuff or hand stuff, or just everything in general. The stadiums too, because we had Path to Peak playing 2 of the Pokestop and 1 of the Lost Cities. So basically the Pokestop is just to fin down. So if you use the Pokestop ability, it does get you items and you can add them in. And sometimes it just might be that piece of the puzzle. I've like resolved Pokestop so many times that it's got me into the 4 Stone Seal, or it's got me to like a ball just to kind of like get my hand down to go to the Genesect. Really great. I think in the future what I'm thinking about doing though is cutting 1 Pokestop, still playing the Path of the Peak, and playing 1 Lost City. So what the Lost City says, whatever Pokemon's knocked out is putting a Lost Stone instead. Well, this is important because Reggie is still a very good deck, and we don't want to get OHKO'd by Reggie early on. So we just play this, just kind of like fin them down. And sometimes you can like really punish a Giratina player, and I know it sounds crazy, but if they put a Giratina on the board, you Lost City, boss up their Giratina, knock it out, and then they kind of can't Fortin you. So it's kind of like really great because the Giratina lines that most people are playing are 2-3. So that's like a key note to keep in mind, or just like getting rid of like one of the Comfies early on. It just helps like decrease some of that consistency. And this is a card that not a lot of, probably not nobody plays, but I play it because Diancie's starting to come back into the format in some form or fashion, because people are just now, what they're trying to do is just load up your bench with attackers, and Diancie just keeps you from being bossed. And I'm playing one escape rope, so in my testing I found that escape rope does really come up, and there's sometimes you can get in situations like you need a Genesect to go live, so you'll shunt them back and forth just to like burn a card or burn 2 cards. So really good for the Diancie dot decks. And then for the last like 2 utility, probably like item cards in the deck, I'm playing 1 Pow Pow because it shuffles anything back. It shuffles supporters back from your discard pile to your deck. So when you open up Silene, I'm gonna tell you, if you know anybody plays Mew, you're gonna open up Silene. It's just how it is. You can pitch it off the Ultra Ball and then recycle it. It also has come up because I have had some testing where it's come up that I have actually Silene, put Silene back and actually use Silene for turns. It's kind of wonky. And then Echoing Chord. Okay, this is debatable. As the format goes along, this probably might get cut for something else, but as for now, it's just like punishing people who don't respect it. An example. So what it does is just like lets you guss a Pokemon from the discard pile onto an event. So basically the combo is have an attacker, play this down, guss up, and then guss up a boss, and then yeah, it's there. This, like I said, I don't know going forward if it will still remain in the list. I'm still debating. I'm still kind of debating. And then for the bread and butter, why this deck is back prevalent, that can dunk 2 less of Sparkle. Essentially it says choose 2 Pokemon and attach these onto it. Fusion Strike Energy. It gives your Fusion Strike one of each type. It gives it pretty much a type, anything in the game, but it only gives it 1 at a time. So for example, if you have 2 of these, that can be both Psychic, or you do have situations where you can like still load the Genesect itself up for an attack. And it also does have like a little clause on here that says prevent all effects of your Pokemon's ability done to Pokemon this card's attached to. So if they like to try to quick shooting you for like the 20 ping, this kind of prevents that. So yeah. And then the last card in the deck, last 3 cards in the deck is the 3DT. Some people are probably going to ask why I'm not playing 4, and it's just basically simple. You aren't relying too much on the path build with this list now that you can play this consistently again as you did in the past. You could ideally make this, but I still think like maybe playing like this or another really good one of utility card is still like very strong. All right, guys. This is my Mew list that y'all can like definitely carbon copy, take to your locals, and just try it out. Maybe take it to like a local level tournament. I am going to be cooking with this a little bit more, as it is one of my favorite decks. Actually, Mew is my favorite Pokemon of all time, so that anything that I see in Mew, I'm going to try to make it work. I do not play, just disclaimer, I don't play the cross switcher list, and the reason why, and this is my theory, it's too clunky. And what that means is like you have to like draw into both of them, and I would just rather play cards that when I draw into it, I can activate it on the turn versus had to hoping I can get it in the hand. And that's also one of them cards you don't want to discard. But anyways, guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in to today's video. We'll be making more Pokemon content. Expect to be seeing some familiar faces back onto my channel. And as always, if you're new to the channel, be sure you hit the like and subscribe button. It really lets me know you appreciate the content I am bringing out for you guys. And until then, the GunnerRTCG, and I'm signing out.